continues to look for their first win of the season with their second home game of the season. Last week, the Bulldogs traveled to the state of Wyoming for their first meeting with Torrington in 10 years and suffered their third loss of the season, 60-6. A bad snap on Gering's third offensive play of the game deep in their own territory resulted in a Torrington safety, and Gering was quickly down 2-0. Then Torrington scored on their offensive possession after the Gering free kick and jumped out to a 9-0 lead with less than 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Gering was not able to recover after that and trailed 40-0 going into the locker room at halftime. Another Torrington score as the Blazers took the second half kickoff. That resulted in a running clock for the rest of the contest. A bright spot for Gering, though, was an offensive possession late in the fourth quarter that resulted in the Bulldogs' first points of the season as Garrett W. Kahn scored on a 3-yard run. Tonight's opponent, Hastings, comes into tonight's game with a record of 1-2. The Tigers started their season losing to state-ranked McCook in Week 1 and Scotts Bluff in Week 2. Hastings hosted Alliance last week and got their first win of the season over the Bulldogs, 39-7. Hastings scored on their first 3 offensive possessions and built a 21-0 halftime lead. Hastings added 2 more scores in the second half as the Tigers finished with 253 yards through the air and 102 yards on the ground. We're glad to be joined again by Chuck Schwartz. And Chuck, once again, Gering found themselves facing a big deficit early in the game, and a deficit that they weren't able to overcome.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, that, boy, if they could just get off to a good start and see some success, and here they have a holding penalty and then a snap over the head that resulted in that safety you talked about. You know, and Hastings finally seeing a little bit of success because, my gosh, you play number, 1 McCook,
right,
or 2, I guess, in the World Herald. Scott's 1. Hastings went up against the number 2 ranked team then, and Scotts Bluff's 4th. I mean, good grief. Who do you want to play to start the year? And, you know, for Gering, they're just trying to find any way to see some success. They both had a little bit. For Gering, it was that they finally punched the ball across and got into the end zone, because I know that had to be weighing heavily on the offensive minds, because they're going, gosh, we can't do anything right. Well, we drove against Northwest, had a field goal attempt right at halftime that went in, but the officials had not readied the ball for play, although one official had, one official hadn't, and then the next one's blocked and it goes for a touchdown the other way. So you talk about not having anything going right. It has been. So let's hope that tonight, just if nothing else to be competitive, that they can see some success and find the way for Josh Hyatt to show them that, yes, I think we're on the right path.
And he said, and we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week in the pregame, but when I talked to him the week before the Torrington game, one of the things he says was they're not rebuilding, they're just building. They're just trying to establish what he wants to do. Yeah,
and Torrington had been in the state finals the year before, lost their quarterback, the one they had the other night, looked pretty darn good to me, but they had this kid by the name of Lemon, who's probably as good a running back as Gering's going to face this year, and that's saying something, because there are a lot of teams that have a lot of good running backs. Lemon, I think, could be one of the best they'll see all year.
And one that we've talked about, and we talked about this last year, that Gering, I mean, it seems to be a recurring theme, get off to a good start. I think the other part of that, though, is if something like that happens early in a game where you get a safety or you have a holding penalty, to just go next play. Instead of, and I'm not saying that Gering hung their heads at that point, but it just seemed like the minute that safety happened, it just kind of, like we said in the post game last week, it just was like a big snowball rolling downhill, picking up speed.
Yeah, mental toughness. What does they always say about a good defensive cornerback? He has a very short memory. If he gets beat on a play, he has to forget it and go out and play hard on the next play. Can't be looking back at, oh, if I would have only... Yeah, so they've got to just be able to say, well, that happened. Let's move on.
Yep, and that'll hopefully be the theme here tonight. So it's Gering and Hastings from Memorial Stadium in Gering. And after the break, more pregame, including interviews with both head coaches and the starting lineups. That's next as the pregame show, sponsored by Pizza. It continues after this.
Bye, Mom.
Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Back on the pregame show on KNEB ahead of kickoff with Gering at home tonight to take on the Hastings Tigers. Hastings got out of the gate 0-2 against McCook and Scottsbluff. I visit with head coach Charlie Shoemaker right now. They finally got in the win column last week with a win against Alliance.
Must have felt good for you, the staff, and the kids to get that first one off your back.
Yeah, really. I mean, it was a much-needed boost for our confidence. And, and we just told the guys going into the beginning of the season, it's going to be tough the first 2 weeks. And you say that and you preach that, and then until you go through it, it's a whole different deal. You got to go through it. And so their heads were a little bit down, but I thought we came out and played well early and did what we needed to do.
Skilled kids, you got a quarterback with Swoboda. You got Shoemaker in the backfield, some great speed, showed that off on the sideline run against Scottsbluff. Cynic, a nice receiver. You got other kids. You got some good football players.
Yeah, we do feel like we do have a good group of kids. And, and we also knew starting some of those young kids the first 2 weeks was going to be real eye-opening for them. And so our big hope was as we get against some of these teams that are a little more like us, the game can kind of slow down for them, and then they can feel real confident. So that seems to have worked out for us, and I just feel like our guys are getting better, and we can always, as throughout the season, we can just keep reminding them that these guys are the teams that we're playing. This is the Scottsbluff, this isn't McCook, and I think we're going to be okay.
With all the changes in Class B, teams leaving for A, teams dropping to C1. Do you look at your team and say we need to be a playoff team this year?
Oh, absolutely. I think our kids feel like we're in that group. And I think it's just gonna. We just need to keep getting confidence and keep reeling off wins as we go through and just get better every day. And so far, every week we've done that. So we're excited about the rest of the year.
Gering was kind of in that same boat you were in. 2 big teams early. They got Northwest and Seward, and and then they thought maybe they'd have a chance heading across the state line to play a really tough, hard-nosed, real blue-collar type team in Torrington that runs the football and uses some tempo with their offense. And, boy, they got one hung on them. When you put the film in at Gering right now, what are you seeing as an opposing head coach?
Well, I probably similar to what we felt like after the first 2 weeks. I feel like they've got some really good players, and they do some nice things, and maybe they just don't quite know what they are yet. They just haven't had that opportunity to get against an equal opponent, to say the least. I was talking to Coach Seabaum at before our game. I said, boy, I'm glad to see you. I said, it's nice to play somebody that's kind of normal like we are, kind of right in the middle of the road. And he's like, yeah, he said, you guys have really had a tough one. So I think they're kind of in that same boat, and I think they've got some nice things. They're doing some good things, and it looks like the kids are playing hard. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Obviously, it's a transition. They get the first 2 wins in a long time under Coach Eckert. he heads off to Beatrice, so the new scheme, some new assistants come in. So there's always a bit of transition when you change staffs up a little bit. It seems like some of the opposing coaches that have played Gering so far this year have thought they had a big offensive line. The Con kid runs hard, and Evers is kind of a dual threat that can get on the perimeter and do some things at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely multiple. I mean, I think they've got a diversity to their offense, and they do have some good-sized kids, and it looks like maybe it's just a process of trying to put it all together, and so we're certainly aware of that, and we need to make sure that we come out and play well.
Yeah, what's your message to your kids this week throughout practice or in meetings and things like that, taking on a team that hasn't won a football game? You came out here last year, and really, I thought the game was a bit closer than the final score might have indicated. Mm-hmm. What's the key for you this week?
Well, we've had a lot of discussions about that as well. We just talked about last year. It just felt like we were kind of in control, but we never could really just get rolling and things like that. And I thought they played pretty well last year against us, and they typically have when we've gone out there. They played pretty well. So just keep telling the kids, we need to make sure we're very efficient on offense and really set the tone on defense or special teams, whatever we start with. And I thought, like this past Friday, we were very efficient. I think our first 3 drives, we were almost perfect. I don't know if we had an incomplete pass, and we just had a couple 3-and-outs and did a really good job. So if we can do that early, I think we'll be okay.
That was Hastings head football coach Charlie Shoemaker on the pregame show. I'm back with Gering head man.
Bye, Mom.
Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery, to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Bye, Mom.
Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Back on the pregame show tonight here on KNEB, we just heard from Hastings head football coach Charlie Shoemaker, and that can mean only one thing. It's time to hear what Gering head coach Josh Hyatt had to say earlier this week.
Coach, I know we spoke last Thursday night ahead of volleyball over at Gering High. We've talked numerous times about the opening tough 2-game slate, and you were really confident in the kids' ability to come out and play a game that could turn into a win against Torrington. Thought you had a good plan in place, thought the intensity and effort at practice had matched up with what you were hoping to see. So then what happens on Friday night when you guys get beat over at Torrington?
We made a couple of mistakes early, had a holding penalty on our first play, and then a bad snap that resulted in a safety. And again, kind of like what happened with Grand Island Northwest, when we got down and behind, our kids kind of found themselves catching a lot of things and reacting to a lot of things. And when you do that against a team like Torrington with the running back like they had, they were able to exploit some things, and it kind of snowballed on us, and we never recovered. I think their running back and their line was a little better than we anticipated them being based on the one film that we had. They improved week to week, which most teams do. So I think they caught us off guard with their physicality. But again, once we made a couple mistakes, we had a hard time recovering from those.
How do you combat that as a head coach? A lot of these kids, they've only known at most maybe a couple of wins in their high school football career, and then you fall behind early on the scoreboard, and guys are probably looking around saying, here we go again. How do you combat that? Or does it really take figuring it out on their own on the game field and turning a bad situation into a positive before they realize they can dig themselves out of these type holes?
Yeah, some of that's experience. Some of that's doing it. We've been talking all week about attitudes and behavior, and one of the things we're trying to combat is just that lack of team unity and that we've had at times. And when things go wrong, we want to point fingers at other people and call names and make fun of and things like that. And those are things that we can't have happen if we want to pull together and rise up in those moments. And so, yeah, you're right. Some of it's going to have to be, we're going to have to experience it. We're going to have to do it. We're going to have a time where we have some success or fall behind and then catch back up and have some success to be able to teach that. The old saying says, success breeds success, right? So once you get it going, then it becomes easier for the kids to replicate. But that initial, that getting those things started is really difficult to do. We're just, like I said, combating it with trying to stay positive as coaching staff, trying to keep building on what we're trying to do and trying to get our kids to be in the best positions they can possibly be.
You know,
one thing that we noticed on film is with Torrington, sorry about that, but the thing we noticed on Torrington is we were in the right spots, and a lot of the things that we were trying to do were there. We just didn't finish them, or we didn't execute, or we didn't get the dude on the ground as he was carrying the ball.
You know, a lot of times in that moment when someone has to rise up, it takes maybe a natural-born football player, a guy with all those instincts to maybe know to point the guy to his left or right. No, you need to be here, or no, this is what we studied, but we have to adjust here. Have you been able to identify just some of those natural football players that have the football IQ and instinct you need?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think some of that is natural, leadership ability and that instinct on the football field. Some of the guys that are starting to rise up in those situations are our younger guys. And so that's been harder for them to be able to take that leadership role. We have some kids that are some older kids too that are in those positions that just aren't maybe as vocal as they need to be yet. But we're starting to see some of those things. It's not widespread just yet. And that's part of building the program, is trying to get that to be the norm rather than the outlier.
We'll have more coming up in just a moment with Gering head coach Josh Hyatt.
Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud. We have what you're looking for.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged. Fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit the experts at Paul Reed Construction, your authorized Big Green Egg dealer.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
We're back on KNEB. Time to wrap things up with Gering head football coach Josh Hyatt ahead of kickoff tonight against Hastings.
Coming into this matchup, you get a team like Hastings that going into last week, similar to kind of what you guys were dealing with. You open with Northwest and Seward. Hastings opened with McCook and Scottsbluff, and then they take it to Alliance. So when you pop the film on from Hastings, and I saw them a few weeks ago, they've got some good individual football players. What are you seeing from the Tigers?
Yeah, definitely. They have some skill. They have some talent. Another good quarterback coming in. A team that wants to spread us out and make you defend the whole field. They struggled early with McCook and Hastings, or McCook and Scottsbluff, but a lot of people are going to do that. They fell behind early and it snowballed on them, maybe not to the point that it has on us at times too, but so that can happen. If we can get up on them, we can cause that to happen as well. Their game against Alliance, they looked like things clicked from the start. It was a tough game for them for a while. They didn't just jump right out on top of them. They took a little bit and then kind of wore them down and scored a bunch of points in the second half. They're capable. They're very athletic. We'll see how we match up when we get on field Friday night.
One thing's for sure, for kids that played in this game a year ago, there's going to be a lot of familiarity and similarities. The game last year was at Gering. This year, you're at home. I thought that game last year, despite what the final score was, Gering had multiple opportunities to take control, score some points, and probably win that game at home if they do a couple of things different or punch one in the end zone at a couple of different points in the red zone. So maybe there's something to build off just with some confidence from playing these guys somewhat well a year ago.
Yeah, I think the similar opponent and having the success and doing it at home helps our kids just be confident. That's one of the things that, like we hadn't seen Torrington in 10 years, so the kids didn't know what to expect going out to Wyoming with that opponent. So that gives us a little bit this week that we can build off of. I think, like you said, last year they had some opportunities. In every game we've had some opportunities. We just haven't been able to capitalize on them. We were able to watch film and see some times where we had receivers running downfield wide open last week and just couldn't get them the ball for whatever reason. So that's been an emphasis this week, is that we have to take advantage of opportunities and quit wasting the things that are put in front of us.
I'm sure you've hit on it sometime in this conversation already, but let's get to our key to the game here as Gering gets set to kick off against Hastings tonight on KNEB. Our key to the game brought to you by Team Auto Center. You get a lifetime warranty with every new vehicle purchase at Team Auto. So, Coach, home game tonight, familiar opponent. What's it take to get that first in the win column?
We got to take care of the Gering Bulldogs before we can worry about any opponent at the moment. We're doing a lot of things well in practice, and we're practicing with good tempo. We just got to be able to transfer that onto the game field and take care of what we need to do well. If we can execute our stuff, it's there, it's right in front of us. There's a lot of things that we're going to try to take advantage of. So the key to this week's game is just making sure the Gering Bulldogs don't hurt themselves and taking advantage of opportunities when they present themselves.
Coach, as always, thanks a lot for the time on KNEB, and best of luck tonight.
Absolutely, thank you.
And we'll come back with more.
Things are getting wild over at Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Now through October 15th, take 10% off all Wild Gear and Grizzly products. Come visit us today at our showroom on 10th Street in Gering.
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less. On the web at nebraskacorn.org.
At Platte Valley Bank, we know when you need a loan, time is of the essence. We are locally owned with decisions made right here at the bank. Our lenders are experienced, efficient individuals who are committed to our customers. Our flexible lending policies make it possible to fulfill loan requests, big or small, quickly. Whether you want to purchase a car, home, or even start a business, our committed associates are here to help. Stop into any location today and see what Platte Valley Bank can do for you.
And welcome back to Gering's Memorial Stadium. Gering and Hastings getting ready to kick it off here this evening as we get set for our national anthem by the Gering High School Marching Band. And our national anthem tonight by the Gering High Marching Band. And now time for the starting lineups brought to you by Western Nebraska Community College. From diplomas to degrees, it's for me. Learn more at wncc.edu. Gering won the toss. They deferred. Hastings will have the ball first. Along the front line at left tackle, Keyshawn Hunt. The left guard, Evan Morera. The center, Dawson Jacobus. The right guard, Chris Glaze. The right tackle, Caden Adams. The tight end is Jacob Schroeder. The wide receivers, Quentin Sinek and Nate Nordby. Your fullback, Zaid Widener. Your running back, Carson Shoemaker. And your quarterback, Alex Swoboda. For Gering, they will start on defense along the front. The defensive ends, Adric Kahn and Zach Wilson. The nose tackle, Garrett M. Kahn. And the other defensive tackle, Johnny Castor-John Lopez. Your linebackers tonight, for Gering, Brendan Williams, Justin Scott, and Turner Ray. And in the secondary, your cornerbacks, Brady Radzimski and Riley Shaneman. The free safety is Anthony Walker, and the rover will be Garrett W. Kahn. So it's Gering and Hastings here tonight from Gering's Memorial Stadium, and that will wrap up
Why should you come out to Double L Country Store in Banner County? Because we serve locally raised beef, chicken, and bison, and our hamburger buns, cabbage burgers, and pies are homemade every day. Breakfast is served daily from 8 to 11, with all-you-can-eat pancakes on Saturday. Or join us Friday nights for Burger Fest. Choose from 6 specialty burgers or build your own. And for dessert, make sure you save room for one of our homemade milkshakes. We are worth the drive here at Double L Country Store on Highway 71, just 10 minutes south of the Wildcats.
This is Mike. Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Come into this contest 0-3. And Hastings comes in 1-2. They got a win last week at home versus Alliance. Their 2 previous losses were to state-ranked McCook and to state-ranked Scotts Bluff. So they've made not 1 but 2 trips out here to the Panhandle. They were out here to take on Scotts Bluff about 2 weeks ago.
The bus driver knows where to go.
Well, our kickoff is being brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza at 2801 Avenue B in Scotts Bluff. It's love at 425 degrees. And don't forget to register for the Papa Murphy's Text Club for a sweet deal. Anthony Walker has it teed up, ready to kick it off. And dropping deep are Carson Shoemaker.
And Nate Nordby.
Nate Nordby will be deep. That's a high end over end kick that Norby will take at the 8, across the 10, 15, 20, and he'll be thrown down as he gets at the 20-yard line as Brady Radzimski was there to make the tackle on Nordby.
Great form tackle, just the way the coaches want to see it happen in practice and carry over to a game.
And we talked about a good start and a nice solo tackle there by Radzimski. And that'll put Hastings 1st and 10. They will mark it at the 20. They will give him forward progress to the 20, where Hastings will set up shop as they move from left to right here in this first quarter. And officials whistle stopping play just as we start to get this one underway. And a timeout taken by Gering.
I'm not sure they had enough players. Or Hastings really came out in a funky situation there that they decided didn't want to have that first play go awry on them.
All the Bulldogs huddled around head coach Josh Hyatt.
Might mention while we're getting started here, just remember Ohio National says life changes, and we'll be there. Well, now we're ready for the first snap, right?
Hastings will split 3 wide receivers out to the right side as they move from left to right. As Swoboda is the quarterback, Shoemaker goes in motion. Swoboda rolling to the left side, throwing on the run, and overthrows his intended receiver, Hunsley, at about the 20-yard line as Riley Shaneman there on the coverage for Gering, and the pass goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
It would have taken an absolutely perfect pass to be a completion there. Shaneman, good job on coverage.
Brings up a 2nd down, and Hastings will go 2 wide receivers to each side, 1 back in the backfield. The shotgun snap. And the handoff to the fullback, Zane Widener, and he is stacked up and thrown back right at the line of scrimmage. Justin Scott, the first man in there to knock him down. Garrett
Adric Kahn was there too.
And Adric Kahn.
Yep.
They'll give him a couple of yards up to the 22-yard line, but brings up a 3rd down and 8. Trips to the left side, shotgun snap. Back to Swoboda, looking, gets pressure. He finds a receiver on the far sideline, and he'll get it up close to 1st down yardage. Zane Widener.
I think he got it by stretching out. That was just a desperation pass to get the pass off before the quarterback, Swoboda, was hit. It will be a first down.
It will be a first down for Hastings as he got to the 30-yard line. First down of the contest for Hastings. Trips to the left side. Shotgun snap back to Swoboda. Fires over the middle. Finds the big tight end. That's Jacob Schroeder at 6'4", 180 pounds. And Schroeder 2 yards short of a first down as he gets it to the 38-yard line. He'll pick up 8 and a second down and 2 for Hastings as they took the opening kickoff.
You talk about a big tight end. You maybe are an understatement there.
Shotgun snap back to Swoboda. Throws in the flat. Looking for his receiver right there. Schroeder once again. But a big hit by Riley Shaneman jarred that ball loose from the big tight end Schroeder. And a critical right now. 3rd down and 2 for Hastings as the ball set down at the Gering 38-yard line.
As they say, he hadn't made a football move, so they couldn't call it a completion. That's why when it came out.
3rd and 2 for Hastings. Trips to the left side. Motion by Shoemaker to the far side as they give it to Shoemaker on the end around. He won't get there as Brendan Williams, the initial man to hit him.
That was just great defense on the far side. They did not let him get outside, and you know Shoemaker's got some speed.
Brady Radzimski also helping out on that tackle, so a nice defensive stand to start this contest for Gering as Riley Shaneman will drop deep to accept a punt from Quentin Sinek. As Red Shaneman standing at his 30, he'll be driven back as the ball will bounce inside the 25, and Hastings will down it inside the Gering 25.
That'll be a 40-yard punt with no return.
Put the ball down at the Gering 23-yard line. 9:44 left first quarter. We're scoreless here from Gering as Colton Ebers will be the starting quarterback for Gering. Tommy Ganos, Turner Ray, Riley Shaneman, your wide receivers. Brendan Williams and Garrett W. Kahn in the backfield for the Bulldogs on a 1st and 10 as Gering will move right to left. Shotgun formation, backs on either side. The give to Kahn, looking for running room around the right side, and Garrett will get it up to the 25-yard line. He'll pick up 2 yards on the carry. Maybe one. Well, let's look at that again. It's right at the 24-yard line.
So 1 yard on the play.
2nd down and 9 for Gering as Tommy Ganos will split out to the left side. 2 wide receivers to the right. Shotgun snap and the give to Garrett W. Kahn looking for running room, and he won't find any, so he'll be pushed back by a whole host of Hastings tacklers, led by Blake Davis from his inside linebacker position and Ivan Ramirez Beaver.
That was just good fill. Both linebackers just raced over through a gap, and Garrett had no place to go.
No gain on the play. Oh, a loss of 1, let's call it. 3rd down and 10 for Gering as they set the ball down at their 24-yard line. Ray, along with Shaneman and Eric Blue to the left. 1 wide receiver to the right. Shotgun snap back to Ebers, drops to pass, looking near sideline, finds Turner Ray, and Turner will be knocked down as he gets across the 25-yard line as Isaiah Hunsley, a one-on-one tackle there, and Gering will go 3 and out in their first offensive possession here tonight.
4-yard pickup on the pass, so at least there was something positive there for the team, and we're going to have an exchange of punts.
Anthony Walker on to punt it away as Schroeder is deep. And the punt will come up short. That's taken.
He's gone.
Nordby, and Nordby down the far sideline all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Hastings.
29-yard punt, but a 56-yard return by Nordby.
The punt came down. Nordby had to take it around his ankles and picked it up. And by that time, he got to the far sideline and was gone. And that just that quickly. Hastings is on the board. Comes with 7:37 left here in the first quarter. And the point after to come. As the place kicker, Mikey Hernandez.
And Swoboda, the quarterback's the holder, so.
Snap is down, and the kick by Hernandez is up and good. 7:37 left in the first quarter. It's Hastings 7.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com. Last school year, 17 students were honored as the Platte Valley Company's Star Student of the Week. Kids from Scottsbluff, Gering, Bridgeport, Bayard, Mitchell, and Banner County received winning nominations, and with the new school year underway, it's once again time for the public to nominate deserving K-12 students to be the next Star Student of the Week. How do you get your nomination in? Just go to pvbank.com, fill out the nomination form, and watch KNEB.TV News every Friday during the school year to see if your Star Student was selected.
A 56-yard punt return by Hastings' Nate Nordby puts Hastings on top 7-0.
A shame after that first defensive stand.
So Hernandez will kick it off with Shaneman and Radzimski deep. High end over end kick. This will hit at the 20. It'll be taken by Shaneman at the 15. Gets up to the 20, cuts to the near sideline, 25, and he'll be pushed out of bounds right at the Gering 25-yard line. And the Bulldogs with their second offensive possession will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now they move it up to the 29-yard line.
I guess he tight-roped along the side there a little bit. It was right in front of the Gering bench. We couldn't see exactly where he was at.
As Ray, along with Shaneman, split out to the left side. Shotgun snap back to Evers. He's going to keep it himself. Finds running room right up the middle, 35.
He gave it to Evers on a reverse handoff. Heck of a play. Boy, I barely saw him hand that one off.
The gain across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Picks up 6 and a second down and 3 to go. 7:07 left first quarter. 7-0. Hastings leading Gering. Gano splits out to the right side. Gering right to left in this first quarter. Evers shotgun snap, play action, throws off on the flat and overthrows his intended receiver, Riley Shaneman, as that was just a little bit too tall for the 5'7", 170-pound junior to haul in, as it was thrown just a little bit too high for Riley.
Which might have been fortunate because there was a defender right there in his face mask ready to tackle.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 for Gering. 2 wide receivers split to the right side. Brady Radzimski out there. Backs on either side of Evers. Gets the shotgun snap, throws in the flat, finds Radzimski, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down right as he caught the ball.
I think the Hastings defense may have tried to sucker the Gering offense there because they didn't have anybody on Radzimski. And when he caught it, all of a sudden 2 guys were right there.
Leif Holtein in there to bring down Radzimski as Schroeder and Nordby will drop deep once again to accept the punt of Anthony Walker. 6:18 left first quarter, 7-0 Hastings. Nice snap back to Anthony and a nice high kick. Nordby will stand, it goes through his hands, but Schroeder got back on it as he was the other punt returner back there, and it went right through the hands of Nordby. And luckily for Hastings, Schroeder was back there to recover that ball as there was 4 Gering Bulldogs bearing down on him.
40-yard punt, no return obviously on that one.
Better than the last
yes.
punt that Gering had. And the ball will be set down at the 27-yard line, and Hastings will have it for 1st and 10 as they move left to right. Shotgun snap, the handoff to the fullback, Zaid Widener, and Widener bangs it across the 30, gets up to about the 32-yard line before Garrett M. Kahn brings him down. A 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6 for Hastings in the road white jerseys, black letters and numbers trimmed in orange, gray pants, and the gray helmet. And a 2nd down play, trips to the right side, motion by Shoemaker, play action in. Shoemaker across the middle, finds the big tight end, Schroeder. He makes the catch and takes it into Gering territory across the 50, down to the 45-yard line. 14 yards on that pitch and catch, and another 1st down for Hastings. Schroeder comes in with 13 receptions on the season, 120 yards. 1st and 10. As Swoboda gets the shotgun snap, he's going to take it himself across the 40, and he'll be pushed out of bounds as he gets it up to the 37-yard line. Picks up 8. 2nd down and 2 for Hastings. 5:14 left 1st quarter. 7-0. Hastings on top. Trips to the right. 2 wide receivers. Empty backfield. Swoboda over the middle. Finds Schroeder. Nobody's there. He'll take it in for the Hastings touchdown. A breakdown on the coverage as the big tight end, Jacob Schroeder, takes it in from 37 yards out. Hastings on top 13-0 with the point after to come.
Linebacker looked into the backfield and Schroeder just ran right by him.
Mikey Hernandez on to attempt the point after that out of the hold of Alex Swoboda. And the kick splits the uprights. It's up and good. 5:08 left in the 1st quarter. Hastings 14, Gering nothing on the West Coast scoreboard.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience. Locate a dealer at biggreenegg.com.
And welcome back to Gering's Memorial Stadium. Hastings on top 14-0.
And Scottsbluff in Sterling leading 7-6. 6.5 minutes to go 1st quarter there.
Mikey Hernandez to kick it off. Radzimski, Shaneman deep. And this will come down and hit at about the 25 and taken by an up man that's knocked down by his own player. Malachi Jensen, the carrier for Gering, and he is knocked down at the 30-yard line is where they will, I believe.
Looks about right. They zigged and should have zagged, I guess. But let's see. Well, we had a penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. called on Hastings. First penalty of the contest goes against the Tigers. And a break for Gering. Well, you can listen to the game today, relive it tomorrow on the podcast page at kneb.com. Brought to you by First State Bank of Scottsbluff and Gering. With the penalty, move it all the way out to the Gering 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as they move right to left in this first quarter. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Backs on either side of Ebers. Shotgun snap. Keeps it himself right up the middle. Colton battling for yardage. They'll get it across the Gering 45.
He faked handoffs to everybody in the backfield that time, I think, and picked up some nice yardage, about 4.
Jack Shardlow brings him down. The gain out to the 48-yard line. Pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7. Tommy Ganos will split out to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right. Motion now. They'll give it to Brendan Williams, and Brendan looking for running room, avoids 1 tackle. They'll get it across the midfield stripe, or right to the midfield stripe, as Isaiah Hunsley, the first man to knock him down.
Nose of the football just over the 50s, so Hastings giving up their half of the field for the first time in the ball game.
Ball set just on the Hastings side of the 50-yard line. 3:54 left first quarter, 14-0. Hastings, a 3rd and 5, facing the Bulldogs right here. As Ebers will split out as a wide receiver, Anthony Walker in at quarterback, bobbles the snap, picks it up, throws long down the middle of the field, and a diving catch, but Colton Ebers was not able to bring it in as it fell to the ground, the official right there.
Yep, he did a great job of trying to get the hands under it and then roll over and show he had possession, but I think it probably did short hop in.
The official right there behind him. But I think that's the first time we've seen that this season as they bring in Anthony Walker at quarterback and they split Colton Ebers out as a wide receiver.
Wonder if he's a submarine pitcher in baseball. Boy, that was sidearm plus a little that he got rid of there.
And, of course, the timing of the play a little bit off as that snap went through the hands of Anthony Walker. Now he's on to punt it away. Once again, Schroeder Nordby drop deep to accept the punt. The unofficial's whistles stopping play.
Delay a game. Second penalty on Hastings. Or first penalty on Gering, I should say there. Yeah, they didn't get the snap off in time.
So that'll back the ball up to the Gering 45-yard line. And Anthony Walker, who is averaging 38 yards a punt, and we can't seem to get things going yet, as the crew of Paul Edens, the officiating crew here tonight, seem to think everything's okay. They will start play again as the snap back to Anthony Walker. Nordby will see it bounce and hit him inside the 15-yard line at about the 11.
I think they're going to put it down at the 12, but boy, what a kick there from the 45 to the 12. 43 yards, no return. That's the important thing. He's given up 1 return in the game, and it was huge.
Took kind of a funny hop, and Nordby just kind of had to cover it. And that put the ball down at the Hastings 12. First down and 10, 3:24 left first quarter, 14-0. Hastings on top. Hastings left to right, shotgun snap, back to Swoboda, getting pressure, and he'll be brought down. And in there, Garrett M. Kahn brings down Swoboda, the Hastings quarterback, and the loss all the way back to the Hastings 6-yard line.
2nd and 16, deep in their own territory. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Hastings has to make a big play here, or Gering's got a statement going.
First sack of the season for Kahn. Quick snap. They find the big tight end, Schroeder, and he'll pick up first down yardage.
Yep, he's a good one.
Quentin Janacek helping out on the tackle. Justin Scott there for the Bulldogs, but the gain all the way out to the 25-yard line. And a first down off the pass from Alex Swoboda to Jacob Schroeder. He's been his favorite target here tonight. As on a 1st and 10, Shoemaker in motion. Swoboda drops to pass, throws it in the flat, finds Widener at the 30, breaks free, going across the field, 35, 40, still on his feet, 45, far sideline, 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Hastings.
Couple of tackles might have been made early, but when they missed there, it was all over. 75-yard TD pass.
And just that quickly, Hastings goes on top, 20-0. 2:16 left here in the first quarter, as Mikey Hernandez will come on to attempt the point after. Last week, Swoboda was 16 out of 23, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns in the 39-7 win over Hastings last week. Carson Shoemaker, 3 receptions for 75 yards, and Zade Widener, 14 carries for 71 yards.
And we had a penalty flag or a whistle at least before the kick.
Offsides the call on Gering. So move it up and make a little bit closer for Mikey Hernandez, who has been perfect here tonight. 5 for 6 coming into this contest on point afters, and the penalty declined by Hastings. Swoboda to hold. Hernandez to try to make it a 21-0 lead here for Hastings. They have scored on a punt return tonight. As a snap down, and the kick end over end, up and good. 2:15 left in the first quarter. Hastings 21, Gering 9.
Things are getting wild over at Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Now through October 15th, take 10% off all Wild gear and Grizzly products. Come visit us today at our showroom on 10th Street in Gering.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery, to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
(21-0). Hastings leading Gering, as Mikey Hernandez ready to kick it off for the Tigers. A low driving end over end kick. The Shaneman will take it to 20. He'll give it to Radzimski. Makes a move at the 30, 35 near sideline, 40, 45 midfield, and is knocked out of bounds in Hastings territory at the 47-yard line.
Kicker Mikey Hernandez bore the brunt of that rush. Wow. He got up, walked over toward the sideline, so he's apparently okay, which is good news.
Hernandez, a 5'6", 630-pound senior. That last drive for Hastings was 3 plays, 88 yards, took a minute 8 seconds. Gering 1st and 10 in Hastings territory. They move right to left. Shotgun snap. The handoff to Garrett Kahn, and he's brought down in the backfield. And meeting him right there, Caden Adams from his nose tackle spot. And that'll put the ball back into Gering territory. They'll mark it down at the 49-yard line.
Tell you what, forward progress saved him a bunch there. That was quickness. Wow. Cons carried 3 times, and 2 of them have been for negative yardage.
Loss of 5, second down and 15 for Gering. Anthony Walker at quarterback, drops to throw, throws on the run, a pass, and it's almost hauled in. Or
it is.
Shaneman.
Bobbling catch.
He bobbled it, but made the catch, and the gain all the way down to the Hastings 5-yard line. 1st and 10 for Gering. They pick up a 47 yards, and that has to be the longest pitch and catch for Gering so far this season.
First down also.
1st and 10 for Gering at the Hastings 5. Anthony Walker in at quarterback, low snap, 1-step drop, fires to Evers, and Evers into the end zone, touchdown Gering. As the big 6'1", 170-pound junior Colton Evers, lining up at wide receiver, takes the pass from Anthony Walker. And Gering, who got their first points of the season last week in Torrington with their 2nd touchdown of the year on a 5-yard pass from Anthony Walker to Colton Evers, and Destiny Mueller on to attempt the point after. Snap down, and Destiny Mueller, her first point after of the game, and we've got flags on the play, and we've seen that on some field goals for Gering this season.
We might mention Destiny is one of 2,401, if the numbers stay the same as they were last year, females playing football in the United States in high school. It's a bigger number than I would have thought.
Destiny missed the point after. The legal procedure will be the call. So we will try it one more time.
Yep.
They will back it up a little bit. And this becomes a little bit of a challenge as they will place it down just inside the 15-yard line. Quentin Janacek will be the holder. And Mueller will swing that right leg. Snap down. And Destiny is up and good. Gering gets on the board. 1:19 left first quarter. Hastings 21. Gering.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com. Things are getting wild over at Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Now through October 15th, take 10% off all Wild Gear and Grizzly products. Come visit us today at our showroom on 10th Street in Gering.
A three-play 47-yard drive by the Gering Bulldogs that took 49 seconds. Puts them on the board as Destiny Mueller boots the point after, her first of the season. And Gering down by 14 as Anthony Walker hits Colton Evers in the end zone. And Walker will kick it off for the Bulldogs. High end over end kick. This will be taken by Nordby at the 7, across the 10, 15, 20, 25 at the 30. He'll be pushed back and knocked down there. He was wrapped up. Justin Scott there, along with Radzimski and Malachi Jensen. And they will put it down at the 30-yard line of the Tigers. First down and 10. Minute 10 left first quarter, 21-7. Hastings leads it. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Swoboda, shotgun snap, drops to throw, looking, now getting pressure, he'll be brought down. In there, Kyle Marsh along with Garrett M. Kahn combining on the sack, the second one of Swoboda here in the game, and a loss of 10 yards back to the 20, bring up a second down and 20. Gering pass rush finding some success here.
Well, it was just a bull rush up the middle. They just powered over the blockers.
And the big middle guard, Garrett M. Kahn, so a 2nd down and 20. As Shoemaker will reset in the backfield. Backs on either side of Swoboda. They'll give it to Shoemaker around the left side. He's got blockers and some running room as he gets it out close to the 40. But he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. Picks up 17 on that carry. 1st down and 10.
Now, 3rd down. Remember, they were super long.
Check that.
Yep.
That's right. 3rd down. Excuse me. 18 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. Shotgun snap. Back to Swoboda. 1-step drop. Fires far sideline. And the catch made. And it will be 1st down yardage as Sinek, their receiver there. And the gain to the 45-yard line. And a 1st down for Hastings as they go no huddle. 14 seconds left. 1st quarter, 21-7. Hastings on top as they wind the clock. Sinek and Shoemaker to the left. 2 wide receivers right. The turn to give to the fullback, Widener. Widener breaks the tackle and takes it into Gering territory as Marsh had him wrapped up, but flags on the play.
It was a late flag. I really thought it looked like Williams was held before the cutback by the runner, but we'll see. Yeah,
Holding
that's what it was.
On the Tigers. So mark it back there.
And the ball carrier that time was? I was watching. Okay, because they'll give him yardage to where the flag was and then the step off.
And they'll mark it all the way back to the Hastings 39-yard line. Alongside Chuck Schwartz, I'm Jeff Kelly. This is the Logos broadcast booth. Stop into Logos and the guys will custom design it, print it, and have it ready for the game. There's no job too big or too small for Logos in downtown Gering. And that'll end the 1st quarter at the end of 1. It's Hastings 21. Please don't score.
.49, 10-yard pickup, 2nd and 6.
We had one untimed down after we went into the break at the end of the 1st quarter, and the ball carrier was Carson Shoemaker, and he gained about 10 yards on that. And so we will switch into the ends of the field.
And because it was long yardage, it'll be a 2nd and 6. But yeah, now they'll be moving right to left. So. But, yeah, we were just sitting here hoping he wasn't going to score or a fumble or something while we weren't watching, unfortunately. But Shoemaker, he's a quick little back.
The coach's son, a 5'6", 145-pound sophomore, Carson Shoemaker. As we told you earlier, he had 3 receptions for 75 yards last week in the 39-7 win over Alliance. So check that, 2nd
and 6.
And 6 to start the 2nd quarter. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun snap as Shoemaker overthrows his intended receiver. He's looking for, check that, Swoboda overthrows Shoemaker at the far sideline.
A rare incompletion. So far, Swoboda is 7 of 10, 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big receiver is Schroeder with 87 yards. Of course, Widener with 83 now. 75 at a time. You collect it in big chunks.
Big 3rd down and 6 right here for the Gering defense. They've gotten to Alex Swoboda twice tonight. And they will see what they can do here as trips to the right. 2 wide receivers. One back in the backfield alongside Swoboda. Now Shoemaker will reset to the left of Swoboda. Shotgun snap and a little screen as Shoemaker gets it into Gering territory, across the 45 to the 40. Still on his feet at the 30. Did not step out of bounds, but a nice run on the little bubble screen to Carson Shoemaker, and he picks up first down yardage all the way down to the Gering 31-yard line. And roughly about 19 yards on that pickup, and a 1st and 10 for Hastings. 11:43 left first half, 21-7 Hastings. Shotgun snap on first down. Swoboda looking long. He's got a man out there, makes a leaping catch. Quentin Sinek into the end zone. Touchdown, Hastings. One-on-one coverage and then some extracurricular activity. Brady Radzimski, who was the defender on that play, and some words between Sinek and Schroeder and Radzimski, and Brady gets flagged for that.
That was a heck of a pass, and really pretty good defense for high school ball. If you're right there a step away, you got to consider that a good coverage, and Sinek just made a nice catch.
And Sinek at 6'2", 180 against Radzimski at 5'8", 165. I guess we had penalties on both sides on that play, so they flagged both Hastings and Gering on that extracurricular activity. After the play, Mikey Hernandez will come on to attempt the point after, out of the hold of Alex Swoboda. And one more time, Mikey Hernandez is good. 11:37 left here in the first half as the score grows. Hastings 28 and Gering 7. And we will keep it right here.
7 plays, 69 yards, minute 33. Swoboda's 3rd TD pass of the ball game to 3 different receivers.
He had 4 touchdowns last week, and I think they threw to 8 different receivers last week in the win over Alliance.
That's not good news for your stat man.
No.
I may be writing in the margins by the time we get done. I'd like to remind everyone that Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit offers regularly scheduled accessible bus service serving communities between Alliance and Scotts Bluff on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and 21 Panhandle communities on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Reservations are required. Visit panhandletrails.com or call 761-TRIP.
28-7, Hastings leading Gering. Gering looking for their first win of this 2018 season. Hastings looking for their 2nd win of the year. Trying to go 2 in a row. Brady Radzimski and once again Riley Shaneman stand at their own 20 to accept the kickoff from Mikey Hernandez. Here in the second quarter, high end over end kick. Radzimski will take this at the 19. Comes across, fakes the handoff. Radzimski has it across the 30, right up the middle, and he'll be pushed down as he gets it to the Gering 35-yard line. Whole host of Hastings tacklers there to knock him down. But Gering will have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Same move left to right here in this second quarter. And they bring in Anthony Walker at quarterback. And trying to see, they will split Ebers as a wide receiver out to the left. 1-step drop, fired it to Shaneman. Riley's got it, looking for running room at the 25. Or check that, the 35. And he'll get it up to about the 37. Short pickup of about 2 yards 2nd down and 8 for Gering.
Second catch for Riley, 48 yards for him, that big 46-yarder that led to the touchdown.
An interesting change, though, to move Ebers out to a wide receiver to get some height on the edges. Shotgun snap on 2nd down as they give it off to Garrett Kahn. I think
linebacker blitz right into it.
I think that there was a little confusion there. I think Walker wanted to keep it, but by the time he gave it to Kahn, Keyshawn Hunt was in there to knock him down. And a loss back to the 34-yard line for Gering. And a 3rd and 11, 10:26 left in the first half as Walker drops deep, throws it towards the near sideline, and nobody there. The closest man to it, Eric Blue.
He just had to get rid of it. That was just great move by Keyshawn Hunt. Boy, he got in there, and Walker had nothing to do but throw it away.
Hunt 6'4", 265, coming off the edge on that 3-4 defensive alignment for Hastings. 4th down, and Gering will punt it away. Walker in there to do it, and the punt's blocked. It's blocked, and it'll bounce around and be fallen on by Hastings. Isaiah Hunsley. I didn't see who got the block, but Hunsley there to recover it, and Hastings will take over deep in Gering territory at the 28-yard line. And a 1st and 10 for the Tigers, leading 28-7 here and looking for more. They move right to left, 2 wide receivers to each side. Widener to the right of Alex Swoboda. Now Shoemaker resets to his left. They'll turn, give it off to Shoemaker, cuts in, finds some running room, breaks free at the 20, still on his feet at the 15, cuts across the field, 10, trying to make a move at the 5, but he can't get out of the tackle of Brady Radzimski, but a zigzagging run by Shoemaker gets the ball all the way down to the Gering 5-yard line. So he picks up 23 on that run, and a 1st down and goal to go for Hastings. 9:55 left first half, 28-7 Hastings. Shotgun snap back to Swoboda, looking into the end zone, fires complete to Nordby. Touchdown Hastings. Nate Nordby, who has a punt return for a touchdown tonight, gets his 2nd one on the 5-yard reception on the pass from Alex Swoboda, and the score grows to 34-7, and the point after to come. Mikey Hernandez has been perfect. Snap down, and once again Hernandez is true on that point after touchdown to make it 35-7. Hastings here with 9 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the first half. 2 plays, 28 yards on that drive for the Tigers. It took a total of 28 seconds. And for Swoboda, his 4th touchdown pass of the night. Like I say, I'm just curious a little bit as to the change to put Anthony Walker in at quarterback and move Ebers out to a wide receiver.
Well, I think they've seen some success with it. Ebers has made a nice catch under some pressure to get that touchdown. And try something different, see if it works.
Gering getting set to receive the kickoff from Mikey Hernandez. Radzimski and Shaneman deep for the Bulldogs in the home blue uniforms here tonight, as this will be taken by an up man. Fair catch by Eric Blue.
That's one thing, the kicks haven't been very deep by Hastings, but there was one minimal return. But other than that, they haven't had great returns, but it's not bad field position to start, but you're not giving up touchdowns either.
Ball will be placed down at the 32-yard line. And Gering will start there. 1st and 10, 9:43 left first half. 35-7. Hastings leads it as Colton Edwards will come back in at quarterback now on a 1st and 10. Gering from left to right. 2 wide receivers left to right. Shotgun snap back to Edwards. He's going to keep it on the quarterback keeper, trying to get it to the 30. Voids 1 tackler, and then he's thrown out of bounds as he gets it to the Gering 33-yard line as Alex Swoboda throws him out of bounds.
Gain of about 1 the way it looks. Well, we'll call it. It's between the yard lines. We've talked about it. You're supposed to count it to the next one. So 34-yard line would be a 2-yard pickup.
2nd down and 8 for the Bulldogs. Double wide receivers each side. Kahn the lone back. Eber shotgun snap, throws in the flat, and not sure who that was intended for.
It was for De Los Santos, and he wasn't expecting it that quickly, but the problem was Ebers had linebacker blitz coming again and had to get rid of it.
Tommy Ganos also in the vicinity that time. 3rd down and 8 for Gering. As Ebers comes to the Gering sideline, gets the play from head coach Josh Hyatt. Gering needs to convert on this 3rd down as they move from left to right. Trips to the right. 1 wide receiver as Edwards drops to pass, getting some pressure, escaping, still on his feet, throws on the run, and can't find Brendan Williams at the midfield stripe. As back there on the coverage, Austin Nauert.
And again, just running for his life. He did a nice job of escaping a sack there, really, but Hastings, great pass rush.
Caden Adams and Dawson Jacobus on the pressure for the Tigers. And a 4th down for the Gering Bulldogs. Walker in once again to punt it away. Nordby, Schroeder deep. High punt, and this one will hit out of bounds.
Won't have a lot of length on it, I think, because of where it went out. But
officials will mark it down. It looks like it will be at the 45-yard line is where they will put it down. And a 1st and 10 for Hastings, who leads it 35-7. 9:19 left here in the first half.
You know, some missed tackles for Gering, but you have to think some of that give credit to the ball carriers for Hastings.
Swoboda dropping to throw, now getting some pressure, avoids it for the near sideline, throws, and
out of bounds.
The receiver, Schroeder, will be out of bounds that time. Tried to get his feet in on the sideline, but it was just too far out of bounds. As Brady Radzimski trying to defend the much taller Jacob Schroeder at 6'4".
Good pass rush by Gering that time, because that was a nice throw by Swoboda as he was going down.
Put 2 wide receivers on each side for Hastings on a 2nd down. They'll give it to Widener. Widener around the right side across midfield and into Gering territory. As he gets it up to the Gering 47-yard line. As he was wrapped up and brought down there, Zach Wilson making the tackle. One of the defensive ends for the Bulldogs. Brings up a 3rd down and 2 for Hastings, and officials whistles. Stopping play. Officials timeout.
Might mention Hastings is 3 out of 4 on 3rd down conversions at this point.
Looking for their 4th one here on a 3rd down and 2 as they split out 2 wide receivers to each side. Swoboda takes the snap, fires, finds a man for 1st down yardage. And the receiver, that time, Garth Jones, hauls that one in. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for Hastings. It's the gain to the 42-yard line. Picks up 5 and a 1st and 10. Hastings from right to left. Shotgun snap back to Swoboda. Looks, fires a pass that goes through the hands of his intended receiver. Once again, that's Garth Jones. Falls incomplete, brings up a 2nd down.
Well, that's 6 receivers who have now caught passes, Jeff.
Hastings on a 2nd down and 10. 2 wide receivers to each side. For Swoboda, he'll give it to the first man through, and that's Tate Pfeiffer, who's checked into the ball game for the Tigers. And Pfeiffer gets it back to maybe the line of scrimmage, and a 3rd down and 10 right here for Hastings. 7:55 left first half, 35-7. Hastings leading Gering. One back in the backfield along with Swoboda. Gets the snap, drops to throw, looking long down the near sideline, and overthrows the intended receiver. That time was Braden Calvage. Falls incomplete, and we'll see what Hastings will do here on 4th down and 10. Punting the ball for Hastings is Quentin Sinek. And he's out on the field getting ready to punt it away. And I think this is only the 2nd punt tonight.
Correct.
For Hastings. Riley Shaneman dropping deep for the Bulldogs. Nice snap back to Sinek. And a high snap that Shaneman will take on the run at the 10, and he'll be brought down as he loses yardage trying to return that punt. And they'll mark it at the 7-yard line.
The tackle was by that Austin Nauert. You've mentioned his name before, and boy, good one-on-one tackle.
So the Bulldogs will start deep in their own territory. 7:32 left here in the first half. 35-7. Hastings leading Gering.
There is a penalty flag they're picking up and moving back downfield, so could be even deeper.
Yeah. Penalty on Gering, so they will mark it from the 7. They will put it inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. First and 10 for Gering. Deep in their own territory at the 4. Turner Ray will split out to the right side.
And Walker's back in. Yep.
And they've got Evers split to the left. Backs on either side of Walker. Low snap. Anthony takes it. Looking long down the near sideline for Evers. And a nice throw by Anthony, but he overthrows. And a flag that comes out late. And I think Evers gave his defender, Austin Nauert, a little elbow as he went by as that pass was overthrown. And we've talked about Gering not hurting themselves, and we've seen that repeatedly tonight. We've had 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on the Bulldogs.
And one was offset by the other team, but right, they still had one. You're correct.
And just really unnecessary on that, as the pass was way overthrown. Nobody was going to get it. Unsportsmanlike on Gering, so half the distance, put it down at the 2-yard line. And first down and 10?
Should be second.
Down and 10 there, they just switched the down marker.
About 12, 2nd and a dozen.
Anthony Walker 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Snap back to him, it went through his hands, and the ball carrier will be brought down for a safety. Garrett Kahn, Johnny on the spot, as the snap bobbled off the hands of Anthony Walker into the hands of Garrett W. Kahn, and he had no place to go, down in the end zone.
He saved a touchdown, literally, because if it would have fallen on the ground, Hastings would have had it.
And that puts Hastings up 37-7 with 7:23 left here in the first half, and Hastings will get the ball back. on the free kick, and we saw this last week against Torrington. And we talked about that in the pregame where Gering was deep in their own territory on a holding penalty and then a bad snap to Colton Ebbers, and he was downed in the end zone. And I don't know that it was that bad of a snap to Walker that time. It was just mishandled.
Yeah.
And as we said, luckily Garrett W. Kahn there to grab it, and he tried to get it out of the end zone, but by that time the Hastings rush had gotten there. And a safety for...
We're very similar to the score from last week against Alliance for Hastings. So after two top 10, well, actually two top 4 rated teams to open the year, looks like they're getting the ship righted.
Shoemaker and Nordby deep for Hastings, and they will not punt this. They will kick it off. We're back. Okay. I've got.
I thought he said he did.
And welcome back to Gering's Memorial Stadium as Hastings recovered a fumble and Quentin Senek took it in for a touchdown, and the point after by Mikey Hernandez for Hastings makes it 51-7, and 2:56 left here in the first half from Gering's Memorial Stadium. And I don't know if we can check furiously writing numbers down on the stats and the scoring drives and things like that. Let's see if we can get a quick recap.
Okay, well, Senek scored from 35 yards out, 2-play, 33-yard, 52 seconds after the fumble recovery as Garrett W. Kahn was caught in the backfield and the ball came out. That was when Gering had it at the 37 following the kick return after we lost our internet connection. And then they lost 2 yards, Hastings did, on the very first play. That was Widener being knocked down for a 2-yard loss, but then Senek took it 35 for the touchdown, so 51-7, 2:56 to go before halftime. Hopefully we've kind of caught people up, and we do apologize.
Yeah, we apologize for that. On the technical difficulties right there, just lost the internet. So Mikey Hernandez once again to kick it away for the Tigers. And this will drive Riley Shaneman back to the 5. He'll pick it up there at the 10, looking for running room at the 15, battling for yardage across the 20. And he'll be pushed back and brought down right at the 20-yard line. And Gering will start at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 with 2:46 left here in the first half.
We will have scores and updates at halftime for you. So,
1st and 10
we've used them all.
For Gering at their own 20 as they work from left to right here in this second quarter. Evers back in at quarterback. Turn and the give to, or check that, Evers kept it. Evers across the 25, 30, 35, near sideline, 40, 45, 50, 45, and he's knocked out of bounds in Hastings territory at the 42-yard line, and Evers just a little bit slow to get up. But again,
penalty flag back about 13 yards from the line of scrimmage.
The gain would have been 38 yards, and Gering walking backwards as the flag setting right at about the 34-yard line in Gering territory. And Evers coming off the field holding his right hand as he took a big hit, and that'll bring Anthony Walker in at quarterback, and the penalty will mark the ball back to the 24-yard line. And a first down for Gering with 2:29 left.
Evers with a 14-yard gain, a 10-yard penalty. That's how we get 1st and 6.
A handoff to Brendan Williams. And the big fullback bangs it across the 25 to the 27. Pick up 3 on that play. And a 2nd down for Gering. Tommy Gano splits out to the left. 2 wide receivers to the right. Now Evers back into the Gering lineup. He'll get the shotgun snap, hand it to Garrett W. Kahn, makes a move in the backfield and gets it across the 30. And he's knocked down right there as number 58 comes in and knocks him down for Hastings. That's Ivan Ramirez Bieber.
2nd first down. The other one came on that long pass that set up the touchdown for Gering. So their 2nd first down of the game. See if they can end the half with some bit of a momentum here and some drives.
First and 10 for Gering. Two wide receivers to the left, and the give to Garrett W. Kahn. And Garrett maybe gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. And a second down and 10 for Gering. 1:07 left in the first half, 51-7. Hastings leading Gering. Backs on either side of Evers. He gets shotgun snap, throws in the flat, finds Schieneman. Riley to the 30, and he'll be wrapped up and knocked down right there. And a solo tackle on Hastings. No gain on the play as Braden Cavillage makes the tackle for no gain.
That's the difference right now. I'm not meaning any disrespect for Gering, but they've missed a couple tackles that have resulted in long runs for touchdowns. Hastings has not missed those tackles. They've made them and stopped them right there.
So third down and 10 for Gering. One wide receiver to the right, two to the left. Shotgun snap and the give to Eric Blue, and Eric breaks a tackle and gets it to the Gering 35-yard line. Pick up a 4, but it brings up fourth down for the Bulldogs. As we've got 2.7 seconds left and a timeout taken by Gering. Now Coach Hyatt trying to wave off the timeout.
Okay, I think we're okay.
And back here at Gering's Memorial Stadium. And apparently not a timeout for Gering, as Coach Hyatt was out on the field waving that one off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe the officials.
I think they're giving it to him.
Yeah, I think maybe the official said, hey, somebody over there called a timeout. You're going to take a timeout whether you want to or not. So we'll just hold it here because 2.7 seconds.
Alongside Chuck Schwartz, I'm Jeff Kelly here tonight from the Logos broadcast booth. Well, be sure to download the KNEB Sports app. It's the go-to sports app with the latest news, live scores. Plus, you can watch KNEB.TV and listen to KNEB Sports right in the app. Download the sports app in the Apple or Google Play Store, or go to KNEB.com under the Sports tab. Fourth down. And Gering will go for it as Evers will take the snap and take a knee. And that should end the first half, and it does here from Gering's Memorial Stadium. At halftime, it's Hastings 51, Gering 7 on the West Coast.
Now at Arby's, you can get 30 euros for $90. Or for those who aren't trying to cater a Greek family reunion, they're 2 for $6.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E Series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Gering, Nebraska. 51-7, Hastings leading Gering here at halftime. And Chuck Schwartz has the calculator out.
Yep. You know I'm in trouble when I've got the calculator out.
It has been all Hastings in the first half of this game. A couple of bright spots for Gering in the first half, as they did get a touchdown on the board in the first quarter, but some miscues, an interception, and a fumble, and it is just, and Hastings has been able to take advantage of those turnovers and turn them into scores. But Gering will get the ball to start this second half, as the Gering High School Marching Band out on the field to perform at halftime, as Gering trails Hastings 51-7.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Gering. Gering trailing Hastings 51-7, and we have a lot of numbers to go over, so I'm just going to turn it over to Chuck and let him go at it.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Let's look at Hastings first. Versatile offense, 104 rushing, 255 passing, 359 total at halftime. Rushing, Quentin Sinek, 1 for 35 and a touchdown. Zaid Widener, 5 for 16. Alex Swoboda, 4 for -17. Remember, he's been sacked 3 times. Carson Shoemaker, 4 carries, 48. And he's just looked impressive on that sweep. Tate Pfeiffer, 1 for nothing. And Nauert, 1 for 22 and a touchdown. Again, 104. Passing, Alex Swoboda, 14 of 18, 255, 4 touchdown passes. The receptions have been Quentin Sinek, 3 for 41 and a touchdown. Widener, 3 for 91 and a touchdown. Nordby, 5 for a touchdown on his 1 catch. Hunsley, 1 catch for 5. Schrader, Schroeder, has caught 4 for 87 plus a touchdown. Shoemaker 1 for 21. Jones 1 for 5. 255, again 359 total offense. For Gering, rushing, W. Kahn has been bottled up by Hastings. He's been the man looked at every time. 8 carries, -9 for him. Ebbers, 4 for 26. Williams, a pair for 5. Blue, 1 for 4. 26 yards rushing. Passing, we've seen 2 quarterbacks. Ebbers is 3 of 6 for 1 yard. And Walker is 4 of 8, a touchdown and an interception, and 62 yards. Ebbers caught the TD pass, 1 catch for 5. Shaneman, 4 for 59. Radzymiski, 1 for -3. Ray, 1 for 4 in the first half. You want me to go through the teams in comparison?
Sure.
Okay. Pretty even in offensive plays. Hastings has snapped it one more time, but again, they have 359 yards total offense. Gering, 26 rushing, 63 passing for 89 total. 2 first downs for Gering, 12 for Hastings. Penalties, 5 for 26 on Gering, 3 for 30 on Hastings. Punts, 4 for an average of 33 by Walker for Gering, and 2 for 45, a 50 and a 40, and I believe you said that 50 was a career high. Turnovers, 2 on Gering, a fumble and an interception. Hastings hasn't turned it over. 3rd and 4th down conversions. Well, on 3rd down, Hastings is 4 of 7. Gering is 0 of 6. Neither team has gone for it on 4th down to this stage.
So that's the story here at halftime. Those are the numbers. We'll come back and give you some scores and more here at halftime as Hastings leads Gering 50.
Now at Arby's, you can get 30 euros for $90. Or for those who aren't trying to cater a Greek family reunion, they're 2 for $6.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Monument Mall has been a huge part of the commercial retail market that has served the Scottsbluff Gering area for well over 2 decades. Many have the misconception that leasing or renting a retail commercial space at Monument Mall is not affordable. On the contrary, our retail spaces have never been more affordable than now. Often having several spaces to choose from for rental or lease options, we have kiosks and retail merchandising units available for your needs to help your business thrive. So don't hesitate. Feel free to give us a call. For more information, please contact Krista Pelster, our property manager, at 308-632-6000.
Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Gering, Nebraska. 51-7, Hastings leading Gering here at half. Gave you all the first half numbers, and now Chuck has the scoring recap, and then we'll have some scores for you from around the area.
Thank you, Jeff. First quarter, 7:37 to go. Nordby, a 56-yard punt return. Kick was good, 7-0. Just a couple minutes later, Swoboda found Schroeder from 37 yards. Kick good, 4-play, 72-yard. Minute 2 off the clock, 14-0, 5:08 to go in the quarter. Still first quarter, 2:16 to go. Swoboda finds Widener from 75 yards out. 3-play, 88-yard drive, took a minute 8. Kick was good, it was 21-0. But Gering got on the board. Walker had a nice pass to Schaineman, and then found Ebers from 5 yards out for the touchdown. 3-play, 47-yard drive. Kick good, and with 1:19 to go in the quarter, it was 21-7, and that's where we ended the quarter. Second quarter, just not even half a minute in, Swoboda found Quentin Sinek from 30 yards. 7-play, 69-yard drive, took 1:33. Kick made it 28-7. 9:45 to go in the second. Swoboda to Nordby, 5-yard pass, kick good, 2-play, 28-yard drive, took 28 seconds, 35-7 after the successful kick. Then with 7:23 to go, a safety against Gering, so that made it 37-7. And on the ensuing kick, then the drive by Hastings. Nauert scored from 22 yards out with 4:03 to go, 2-play, 30-yard drive. 40 seconds elapsed. Kick made it 44-7. And still in the second quarter, 2:56 to go. Quentin Sinek, 35-yard run, 2-play, 33-yard drive technically because they'd lost 2 on the first play. 52 seconds, and it's 51-7 at halftime is where we stand. Now, some scores from around the area. Let's see, Alliance, I was just getting that one updated, and the thing keeps flipping on me here. So it's 27-20. Alliance is now leading against Brush, Colorado. That is in the third quarter of play. Scotts Bluff at half leading Sterling, Colorado, 26-18. So much closer than I really thought that one would be. Mitchell leading Bridgeport 22-14 in the third. Bridgeport looking for their first win. Broken Bow over Chadron 28-8 in the fourth quarter. Creek Valley leads Maywood Hayes Center in the third quarter 54-32. Dundee County Stratton all over Kimball in the third quarter 60-24 in that 8-man game. And Sidney suffered their first loss of the year. Cozad 14, Sidney 7. It was 8-0 and 14-0 Sidney, or excuse me, Cozad before Sidney got that late touchdown. Nothing in on Cody Kilgore Minutair, Gordon Rushville Bennett County, Hershey and Centura, McCook Beatrice, Ogallala against Kearney Catholic, North Platte St. Pat's against Gibbon. Some of these are teams that will match up in the districts out here. And we do have Torrington leading in their ball game. No surprise there after we saw them play last week. 28-0. Torrington is leading, and I'm trying to look and see if I can find who they are playing, but it's scrolling up and down on me, and I'm not finding that one right off the top. So
Torrington, I think, was playing Green River tonight.
You're right. It was Green River. I did see that one, so thank you. So those are the scores I have. We'll try and check some other sources here to see if we have any other scores for you. Sterling was ahead of Scotts Bluff, I know, in the second quarter in that game. So now it's Scotts Bluff with the lead at halftime, from what we understand. So
I think a good one. I don't know if you gave the score, but it sounds like a good one going on between Bridgeport and Mitchell, 22-14. Mitchell leading Bridgeport. So
yeah, Mitchell, fine team this year again, and Bridgeport looking for their first win. Remember, they had such a young team. They graduated a lot of people in the offensive line. They had a new quarterback this year. I did them the first week against Sidney, which is no favor to anyone because we knew Sidney was going to be pretty good, but here they turn around and lose to Cozad. So that's why you play them. You don't just phone the scores in.
Let's take our final halftime break. It's 51-7, Hastings leading Gering on the West Coast scoreboard.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery, to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Now at Arby's, you can get 30 euros for $90. Or for those who aren't trying to cater a Greek family reunion, they're 2 for $6.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Back at Memorial Stadium in Gering, Nebraska, alongside Chuck Schwartz, I'm Jeff Kelly. As halftime wrapping up here, and Hastings leading Gering 51-7. They put a little bit extra time on the clock as Hastings out of the locker room just a little bit late. But of course, with the score 51-7, we will have a running clock in the second half. Glad you could be with us tonight on KNEB 960 AM, 100.3 FM. And on KNEB.com, and we had a few technical difficulties, but now I'm told we're back up and running on KNEB.TV. So if you're joining us via that route, we're glad we could be back with you here from Gering, as Gering will accept the second half kickoff from Hastings. Gering in the home blue jerseys, white letters and numbers trimmed in gold and white stripes on the shoulders, the white pants, and the blue helmet. And Hastings in the road white jerseys with the black letters and numbers trimmed in orange, gray pants, and a gray helmet.
Just checking, I'm not seeing any updates on any of the scores that we did bring you, other than Broken Bow did beat Shadron 28-8. That is a final now. We had announced that was the score in the fourth quarter.
Radzimski and Riley Shaneman deep. They stand at their own 15-yard line, and Mikey Hernandez, whose leg had got to work out in the first half, on to kick it off to start this second half. As we said, we will have a running clock as Hernandez with a low line drive kick that'll bounce out of bounds, and that'll bring out the flag from the officials, and Gering will have good field position as they will start 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Colton Evers in at quarterback for Gering. We've seen Anthony Walker in the first half. Colton Evers lining up as a wide receiver, and that was the lone scoring play for Gering in the first half. Anthony Walker to Colton Evers.
Josh Hyatt's having a conversation with the official. I think part of it might be the ball went out of bounds, but 4 seconds ran off the clock. So I guess maybe they were taking the running clock seriously.
Yes. Clock reading 11:56. Now they signal the ball ready for play. 1st and 10. Gering at their own 35-yard line as they move left to right in this second half. Shaneman comes in motion, gets the toss on the end around the 35, trying to break a tackle. He'll maybe pick up a couple of yards there. And wrapping up and bringing him down around the ankle. That time Blake Davis from his linebacker position, a gain of 1.
That was the first carry by Shaneman. He's got 4 pass receptions.
2nd down and 9 on the game as Gano splits out to the right. 2 wide receivers left. Shotgun snap. Evers will keep it. Now will pitch it late to Kahn. Kahn makes a move at the 40, 45, and Garrett pushed out of bounds right at the midfield stripe. And a big gain for Garrett Kahn. 1st down yardage as he picks up 14 on that carry. And a 1st and 10 Gering.
And he's into positive yardage because of that now. As we said, he had that tough first half. They really were paying a lot of attention to him.
1st and 10 Gering. The ball set down right at the midfield stripe for the Bulldogs. 2 wide receivers left. Shotgun snap, bobbled, and Ebers still loose, still on the ground, and Garrett W. Kahn gets on it. And that was hanging out there for quite a while. Chartelow, along with Hultine, for the Tigers, back there lurking, but the loss all the way back to the 43-yard line. And the ball moves back into Gering territory. And that could have been deadly for the Bulldogs as Anthony Walker comes back in at quarterback, and Colton Ebers will split out to the left. Backs on either side of Anthony Walker. The snap, waist high, he fires a pass that's tipped in the air, intended for Colton Ebers. And incomplete pass is Nauert. Back there on the coverage, Blake Davis in there too. And a 3rd down and long for Gering. 3rd and 17, 9:30 running clock here in the second half, 51-7. Hastings. Gering comes out with trips left, 1 wide receiver right. Shotgun snap as Walker drops to throw, looking to the far sideline. He's got Ebers out there, and he turned right and then turned back. Is that where the ball was, and couldn't catch up to it at the Hastings 30-yard line. Will bring up a 4th down for Gering. So far, first team players in there for both teams. As I look down at my charts, a lot of familiar numbers from the first half. And we'll see if Hastings starts to substitute. Anthony Walker to punt it away. Nordby, Schroeder deep. Rugby style kick by Anthony Walker. It hits off the back, or it looked like it hit off the back of Shaneman.
They didn't throw the cap down or the bean bag or whatever you want to call it usually to mark that, but we'll have to see as the officials look here. One of them was kind of gazing in that area, but I don't think they're going to say it was touched.
Well, it was a good punt by Anthony Walker that went down to the 15-yard line.
42-yard punt then.
First down and 10 for Hastings. Officials taking a timeout. And they bring in the backup quarterback, Jarrett Sinek, the brother of wide receiver Quentin Sinek. So we'll try and pick up some of those second line players.
And Jarrett a sophomore, where Quentin's a senior.
Zaid Widener still in the backfield for the Tigers. Shoemaker also in there.
I can see why Hastings took a timeout here. The third quarter would be over before they get to snap it. I don't know what all the... Well, now we've got an equipment by Gering out there on the 20-yard line, somebody taking care of a shoelace. I don't think that was the original timeout cause.
No. Official standing over the ball. Now one official coming over towards the Gering sideline.
And they just brought a football into play, so maybe that was why that Hastings came up over it and there wasn't a ball to play with.
The first, now they got that taken care of. Yeah, that would be the first thing you want to check for.
Yeah,
make sure there's
it always helps.
A brown ball with white stripes on it. And so we get back to action as the handoff to Shoemaker around the left side.
Boy, he's got
dodging and
quick
darting,
feet.
and he takes a big hit at the 20-yard line. And slow to get up is Justin Scott.
That was quite a collision.
He was the man that hit Shoemaker, and he was a little bit slow in getting up. But the pickup is 5 yards and a 2nd down and 5 for Hastings as they work right to left in this second half. Shotgun snap back to Sinek. The handoff to Widener. The big fullback finds some running room, breaks a tackle at the 30, and is knocked down short of the 35-yard line.
13th first down for Hastings in the ball game.
It'll be a first down out to the 33-yard line is where the ball is marked down for the Hastings Tigers. Double wide each side for Hastings. As Sinek drops the throw, throws far sideline, has a receiver for Garrett Kahn, and Brendan Williams knock him down, and that's Leaf.
Holtein, I believe, yep. Mm-hmm.
And Holtein picks up about 4 yards to the 37, and a second down for Hastings. 6 yards to go, 6:18 clock running, 51-7. Hastings leading Gering. Sinek awaits the shotgun snap, play action, drops the throw, fires over the middle, almost intercepted. And Garrett W. Kahn from his defensive back position, I'll get it out, almost had his first interception of the year, and it'll bring up a third down for Hastings.
A lot of green out there, too. I think maybe that is what he was anticipating as he tried to make the grab there.
Third down and 6 for Hastings. 2 wide each side. Sinek takes the snap, drops the throw, looking long down the near sideline, and overthrows Shoemaker at about the 40-yard line, and Hastings will punt it away on fourth down. 5:22. Clock continues to run in the third quarter, 51-7. Hastings leads Gering. And punting the ball away for Hastings will be Braden Clavage. Riley Shaneman drops deep. And a nice high punt. This will drive Shaneman back. It will hit at the 15, take a bounce, and inside the 5, a big Hastings bounce. And Hastings will down it inside the Gering 5-yard line at about the 3.
60-yard punt. Not bad for your backup.
No, I unfortunately I don't have the stats on the kick on the punter that time, but a big punt for him, and he got a big bounce and mark it down at the 3-yard line, and that's not the start you want to have for Gering.
Well, you think, if he has a 30-yard kick, that's going to be around the 35-yard line, and who knows if you get a return from there. Wow, that was a rocket.
1st and 10. Ebers will keep it himself and slips down at about the line of scrimmage. And now he comes up holding his right hand. He went out earlier in the first half with that hand injury. He took a big hit on a run. And he comes to the sidelines to talk to head coach Josh Hyatt, but just slipped down as the turf gave out. No gain, 2nd down and 10.
He was over getting the play from the coach, but it looked like he might have something, and then Hastings had 2 defenders he was going to have to juke.
Split out 1 wide receiver each side for the Bulldogs on 2nd down. The give to Garrett W. Kahn, and Garrett found a little bit of a hole, gets it across the 10. Up to about the 13-yard line goes Garrett Kahn.
Right at the first down marker, I think. Yep, he got it.
Yep. 1st and 10 for Gering. 2:59, 51 left in the third quarter, 51-7. Hastings leading it.
Now Garrett's gone from -9 at halftime to +14.
Ray right, Ganos left. Handoff Garrett Kahn, big hole for Garrett trying to break a tackle, and Garrett a strong run across the 25 of Gering up to the 27-yard line. He's ripped down right there. Another first down for Gering. Lucas Kolatek makes the tackle.
Consecutive snaps, consecutive first downs.
Gain to the 26 and a 1st and 10 for Gering. Backs on either side of Ebers. Shotgun snap. They'll give it to Brendan Williams. Brendan moving the pile, keeping his head down, and he'll pick up first down yardage as he gets it across the Gering 35 out to the 37-yard line. A gain of 12 and 1st and 10 for Gering as the clock continues to run. 1:51 left in the third quarter.
3 snaps, 3 first downs, which gives them 6. 4 of them this half.
A lot of second-team players on the defensive side for Hastings. And the snap goes over the head of Ebers, and he does a smart thing and just falls on it, but the loss will be all the way back to the 22-yard line. And kind of the theme that we talked with head coach Josh Hyatt about a couple of weeks ago is they take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and the example of it right there, making big yardage, good runs, and then an errant snap.
And 2nd and 26. 16-yard loss there. Minute to go, third quarter.
Running clock here in this second half. Hastings on top, 51-7. 1 wide receiver split out each side. Shotgun snap, the hand to De Los Santos. And he's wrapped up as he gets it to the 25-yard line. Making the tackle for the Hastings Tigers, Landon Jacobus. And that'll bring it up as a 3rd down and 21 for Gering. This probably will be the last play of the third quarter. Clock running. Ray splits right. Ganos left. Shotgun snap. Garrett W. Kahn avoids one tackler in the backfield, breaks free. 30, 35, stays on his feet, 40, 45.
And got the first down.
And Garrett gets the first down as he gets it down to the 49-yard line. A big pickup for Garrett W. Kahn, and that play ends the third quarter. At the end of 3, Hastings 51.
Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Back in Gering, we go to the fourth quarter, and Gering with it 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Ebers, and the handoff, and big yardage is continuing to push the pile. Garrett W. Kahn, who has gone from negative yardage to positive yardage here in this second half, and the gain into Hastings territory at the 43-yard line.
He's gained 70 yards this half, so he's gone from -9 to 61.
2nd down, and call it a yard to go. Justin Scott into the ball game. This split out as a wide receiver to the left. 3 men in the backfield to give to Garrett W. Kahn. Breaks the tackle. He's at the 25, down to the 20, and inside the 20-yard line. Before he was brought down, Braden Cavalage and Grant Beard, another Gering first down, as they are running the ball straight at this Hastings defense.
Admittedly, some second-teamers in there for Hastings, but they need to get experience too. But Kahn has a shot at hitting the century mark. He's at 84 yards right now.
24 yards on that carry. And De Los Santos into the backfield for Gering. First down, the handoff, Brendan Williams. Brendan over the right side. Continues to keep his feet moving. He gets it down to the 15-yard line. Tate Pfeiffer, one of those second teamers in there for the Tigers, making the tackle. With the pickup of, we'll call it 5 down to the 15, and a second down and 5 for Gering. 10-10 left in the game, 51-7. But Gering driving here in the fourth quarter with a running clock. Ganos to the left. 3 backs in the backfield, a diamond formation for Gering. Snap goes off the hands of Ebers, and he just has to fall on it at the 20, and he loses 5 yards there and puts Gering in a 3rd down and 10. And we see 3 or 4 good snaps in a row, and then we see one that goes over the head or is bobbled. And
yeah, that one wasn't all that bad. It just wasn't handled cleanly.
3rd down, they say 11 as Scott splits to the left. Shotgun snap and the give to Dilo Santos. He breaks 1 tackle and gets it to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he got a little extra momentum. He got it to the 23 there, Jeff. Nice run. Or I say 23, yep. 13.
To the 13-yard line.
He has 2 carries, 10 yards in the ball game now. Brings up 4th down, though.
Bulldogs will go for it on 4th down. Ray right, Scott to the left. 3 backs in the backfield as officials' whistles and flags come out right at the snap. And awaiting the official signal, the illegal procedure to call on the Gering Bulldogs.
First penalty of the second half on either squad, Jeff. 31 yards, 5 in 6 penalties, and still 3 for 30 for Hastings. Not bad numbers.
No, pretty clean game for Hastings, but the penalty puts it back to the 18-yard line.
And 4th and medium becomes 4th and long.
They'll put 3 backs in the backfield by Ebers as he gets the snap to Garrett W. Kahn right up the middle, and Garrett will be brought down short of the first down yardage, and Gering will turn it over on downs to the Tigers as Braden Cavillage.
Well, they got the 5 back from the penalty, so if no penalty, probably a first down. But do you realize that was the 13th play of the drive for Gering?
That's been probably their longest
of the season, yeah.
Of the season in this game.
Yep.
Hastings to take over. 1st and 10 in their own territory at the 13-yard line as they move left to right. Running clock, we're at 7:38, 51-7. Hastings leads it. Second teamers into the ball game. Quentin Sinek is the quarterback. He'll turn, give it on the end around. And the ball carried that time by Tyler Wiesman.
Nothing against the offense, but I'm starting to run out of room on my score sheet here. If you want accurate stats, it might not be happening.
The gain to the 16. Pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7. Sinek the turn and the give to the first back in the backfield. That's Trevor Sullivan. And Sullivan gets it close to the 20-yard line. And Hastings looking at a 3rd down. 3 yards to go. Chase Hepner, as in a wide receiver, splits to the left. Motion. Give to the first man in the backfield. He breaks free. And that's Tate Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer all the way down to the Hastings 47-yard line. And a big run by Pfeiffer, the 5'6", 160-pound senior. We'll check that, the 5'9", 160-pound senior, first down as the ball gets to the 47-yard line.
2 carries, 27 yards.
First and 10 for Hastings. Sinek takes it, hands off to the first man through.
Tell you what, Isaiah Blanco just blew that play up. I don't even know who carried. Was it 22 again?
We got 62 back there in the ball game.
Okay, was
it looked like the Isaiah Henry.
Okay, I thought I saw one of the other numbers too, but boy, they blew it up good. Loss of about 2. Was that Sullivan that carried again? I think it was.
But the loss back to the 46-yard line. As motion by Weisman gets it around the left side, still battling for yardage. So he gets it into Gering territory. Clinton Janacek on the tackle for the Bulldogs. Jeremiah Contreras helping. And a third down facing Hastings as they get it to the 49-yard line. 4:43 left, 51-7. Hastings leads it. Sinek takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Play action. Throws into the flat. Oh! And the pass goes incomplete. And a big stick. Riley Shaneman and Gavin White, the intended receiver. The 5'7", 133-pound sophomore took the brunt of that hit from Riley Shaneman.
He wasn't going to hold on anyway, but if he would have had a chance at it, he wouldn't have been holding on to that one anyway.
Fourth down for Hastings. They will go for it as we're nearing the 4-minute mark in this contest. 51-7. Hastings on top. Jarrett Sinek, the quarterback. Snap back to him. He rolls right side. Looking, getting some pressure. Still on his feet. Throws long down the far sideline. And overthrows his intended receiver, Chase Hepner. But some good pressure from the Gering defense. And Hastings will turn it over on downs with 3:35 left in the game.
Some good hustle on both sides there. You know, you saw the defensive end from the far side. They were rolling away from him. Probably doesn't have a chance of being in on the play. Hustled all the way across, and actually when he set up, he was there to help harass him.
Jared Baltazar will come in at quarterback for Gering, as Gering has it 1st and 10 at their own, call it the 48-yard line. Eric Blue in the backfield. 3 backs in the backfield. Baltazar gets snap, handoff Eric Blue, and Eric won't find any running room as he's wrapped up in the backfield as Evan Marrera there on the tackle. A loss for Gering. Couple of yards. Call it the 47. And a second down. Let's call it 11. 2:28. Clock continues to run here in the game. 51-7. Hastings leading Gering. Stay with us. We will have the Runs a Post-Game show here from Memorial Stadium. Baltazar takes it late, handoff to De Los Santos, and around the right side goes De Los Santos into Hastings territory as he gets it to the 48-yard line of Hastings. Picks up about 5 and a 3rd down and 8. Gering breaks the huddle, comes to the line of scrimmage. Contreras splits out to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right for the Bulldogs. Backs on either side of Baltazar. Low snap, turns, gives it off to Rushalow, and Nate Rushalow maybe picks up a yard, maybe gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down. We're underneath a minute and a half left in a fast-moving 4th quarter with a running clock here in the second half. But there has been no scoring in the second half as it was 51-7 at halftime. Gering will punt it away. Anthony Walker. One man back as Rushlow checks in late for the Bulldogs. Snap back to Anthony Walker. And a nice high punt. And it'll take.
Oh, wow. Went out at the 1.
I was going to say, went out of bounds at the 1. Back there was Chase Hepner to try and corral that punt from Anthony Walker, his best effort of the night.
47 yards. They've had a few bright spots, some things to build on. I don't even know if we'll get another snap here.
We're running 17 seconds left, and nobody's really making an effort to get to the line of scrimmage. There's 9 seconds left, now 7. Hastings is going to try to run one more play. Sinek takes it, gives it to Tate Pfeiffer. He has to fight his way out of the end zone. He'll be pushed back, but will they give him forward progress?
That's about it.
That is, he gets it to the 1, and the horn sounds, and that will end this game here from Gering, where your final score is Hastings 51, Gering 7 on the West Coast scoreboard. All right.
Things are getting wild over at Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Now through October 15th, take 10% off all Wild gear and Grizzly products. Come visit us today at our showroom on 10th Street in Gering. Buyers Realty has been helping people in the community find their dream home since 1994. If you're looking to buy or sell your home, our friendly staff will put in the work to help you reach the finish line. We also do property management for buildings in Scottsbluff, Gering, and beyond. You can find an extensive list of our properties by visiting our website at callbuyersrealty.com. Or you can visit our Scottsbluff offices on Avenue B, right next to Bumper to Bumper. Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
What are you waiting for? A 6-year limited powertrain warranty? Savings on performance-matched implements? 0% APR financing for up to 5 years? Head down to your local Kubota dealer before September 30th and take advantage of this incredible offer on the BX Series, America's best-selling subcompact tractor. Kubota. This is what we do.
Come into Sandberg Implement, your local Kubota dealer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Sandberg Implement in Gering.
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less. On the web at nebraskacorn.org.
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form, And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit the experts at Paul Reed Construction, your authorized Big Green Egg dealer.
Hastings will be at home to take on Crete. Not quite sure where we've got numbers, but whatever you have, we'll take them.
Why don't we run through scoring first,
Okay.
then we come back with individual later. 7:37 to go in the first quarter. Nordby, a 56-yard punt return. Kick was good, 7-0 Hastings. 5:08 to go first quarter. Swoboda found Schroeder from 37 yards out. That'll be the one of four touchdown passes Swoboda had in the game. 4-play, 72-yard drive. It took a minute two. The kick was good. It was 14-0. 2:16 to go in the quarter. Swoboda to Widener from 75 yards out. 3 plays, 88 yards, a minute 8. 21-0 after the kick. Then Walker to Ebers from 5. Walker had found Shaneman for the big gain right before that took it to the 5. The touchdown pass of 5 yards. Destiny's kick was good. It was 21-7, a 3-play, 47-yard drive, 49 seconds off the clock. At the end of the quarter, it was 21-7. 11:37 to go before halftime. Swoboda to Quentin Sinek. 30-yard pass, 7-play, 69-yard drive, a minute 33. The kick made it 28-7. 9:45 to go before halftime. Swoboda to Nordby. 5-yard pass, 2-play, 28-yard drive, 28 seconds. Kick made it 35-7. Then a safety scored by the Hastings defense with 7:23 to go. That made it 37-7. We weren't done yet with 4:03 to go before half. Nowert, a 22-yard run, 2-play, 30-yard drive, 40 seconds off the clock, 44-7 after the kick. 2:56 to go before halftime. Our final points, we didn't know it at the time. Quentin Sinek, a 35-yard run, 2-play, 33-yard drive. They'd lost 2 on the previous play. 52 seconds off the clock. Kick good, 51-7. Scoreless third, scoreless fourth. And we end up with that final score of 51-7. I'll have the individual and team stats ready when we come back.
We'll take a break as the post-game show catered by Runza continues after this.
Monument Mall has been a huge part of the commercial retail market that has served the Scottsbluff Gering area for well over 2 decades. Many have the misconception that leasing or renting a retail commercial space at Monument Mall is not affordable. On the contrary, our retail spaces have never been more affordable than now. Often having several spaces to choose from for rental or lease options, we have kiosks and retail merchandising units available for your needs to help your business thrive. So don't hesitate. Feel free to give us a call. For more information, please contact Krista Pelster, our property manager, at 308-632-6000.
Across the state, every eye and ear is focused on one stadium where the sea of red is man-made. A place where every Saturday is a stage for our team, for our resolve, and for our values.
It's toughness, it's dedication, it's work ethic. That's what Nebraska is.
This is Husker Nation.
Gering High Bulldogs suffer their 4th loss of the season as they drop one here at home tonight to Hastings. Your final score, 51-7. Well, it's time to look at the numbers brought to you by Arby's, the meat crafters throughout western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. And Chuck has got the calculator heated up.
Well, boy, it did heat.
Got some numbers.
I put some ice to it to make sure. For Hastings, Quentin Sinek carried once, 35 yards, a touchdown. Zaid Widener, 6 for 29. Alex Swoboda, the quarterback, all in the first half. Sacked 3 times, 4 carries, minus 17. Carson Shoemaker, 5 carries, 53. Boy, he looked impressive. Tate Pfeiffer, 3 for 27. Nowert, 1 for 22 and the touchdown. Westman, 2 carries, 7 yards. Sullivan, 2 carries, 2 yards. Total of 158 in rushing. Passing, Swoboda's all in the first half, 14 of 18, 255, and 4 touchdowns. Second half, Jarrett Sinek goes 1 for 5, a 4-yard completion. So our receiving numbers don't change too much. We had Holtein get 1 catch for 4. Everybody else, their first half stands up. Jones, 1 catch for 5. Shoemaker, 1 for 21. Schroeder, 4 for 87. Hunsley had 1 for 5. Nordby, 1 for 5. Widener 3 for 91. Quentin Sinek had 3 for 41. Total passing 259. Total offense 417.
Let's let me.
Yeah, go ahead and stop.
Right,
yeah, we can talk with the coach for a while.
Hyatt stops in here on the Runs of Post Game show, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you last week, but another tough one here tonight.
Yeah, tough. We just got to start doing things in game a little bit cleaner. The problem that we're seeing is we get to the game and we get a little antsy and we don't quite execute like we have been all week in practice. The botch snaps, the holding penalties, and those things are hurting us right now pretty. That's really unfortunate in the way they are. But again, we don't see that in practice. We see a lot cleaner play, and then we got to figure out a way to put together a game when we get that far along.
A couple of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties tonight that just really kind of stalled drives. We saw it on the touchdown that Hastings had, and then we saw it on a possible pass reception on your end, and just some extracurricular stuff after the play that it just kills you.
Yeah, disappointing too. Those kinds of things are very preventable, and we need to do a better job of preventing them. There's not much for reason for that kind of stuff, and it doesn't do us any good. So we need to figure out a way to minimize that, and we'll talk about it, and we'll come up with a fix for it. It really did hamper our offense when we would get something going and then back ourselves up.
Talk about the reasons behind you bring in Anthony at quarterback, you split Colton out as a wide receiver. Had a little bit of success tonight.
Yeah, Anthony throws a good ball. He sets his feet and just fires away. He does a really good job in practice of seeing those things. He needs a little more experience as he grows and learns and gets better with the whole scheme of it. But he throws a good ball, so we knew we could get him in there, and he did a really nice job of stepping up in the pocket and throwing a deep ball there, and then finding Colton for the touchdown. And we just think Colton on the edge can give us a little more too, and relieve a little pressure out of the box with him outside.
I was impressed also tonight by your defense. They got to the quarterback about 3 times tonight. They really seemed to get a good push up front and were able to contain Swoboda.
Yeah, we worked a lot this week about just having a move, having an option, having some go, a little fire, and I thought we came out and played with a little fire to start, which we haven't seen very much of in the past. So I thought our defense really played physical football for the better part of the first quarter. Mm-hmm. But then again in the second quarter, things got rolling against us, and we can't stem that tide for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. At halftime, you go in 51-7. What was the message?
The message is just we got to figure out a way to play the game of football consistently. You see bright spots all over the place. We break off a 20-yard run, and then the next play we have some kind of penalty that sets us back. We get a couple first downs in a row, and then we miss a backer that's blitzing up the middle and set ourselves back. I've told you this week 1 and 2, and probably would have told you this last week too, but when we learn to play consistent football in a game, you're gonna see a better football team. We're in the right spots in practice. We're lining up right. We're doing the right things. We're communicating the right stuff. We just can't finish in game and put together big drives.
I was going to say my one question there, Coach, was I think it was this fatigue maybe hit, but the difference was Hastings was making those tackles when you had somebody one-on-one. They were cutting back and forth across the field, so you had several opportunities, and they just couldn't make connections.
That's been the difference in all the games we played so far is when we get a guy one-on-one, they seem to bring us down, and when we get them one-on-one, we're not able to make that play. I think some of it is inexperience. I think some of it is our youth. I think some of it is some of our guys learning how to play the position and run through things. And some of it's our fatigue as well, especially later in that second quarter.
Yeah. Some positives, though, to take away, obviously the touchdown to Colton, but I thought that the punt game tonight, Anthony, just with the exception of the one that he had blocked tonight, he bombed a couple that really trapped Hastings deep. From looking at it, he's really been a bright spot for you.
That's been our bright spot all year is the punt game. We're getting a lot of practice at it, but he's coming through consistently with it, so that's a good thing for us.
Next week, big game, the Scottsbluff Gering game. Your first time involved in this. I don't know what your feeling is, I guess, on a quote rivalry game, but it's another tough opponent for you that you
A tough opponent. They're solid. They do things right. They don't hurt themselves. They bring a lot of heat when they come on defense, similar to what Hastings tried to do to us. We're going to have to figure out a way, again, in practice to just take care of ourselves, get snaps, run downhill, put together a few drives on offense, keep our defense off the field, just help our defense out a little bit offensively. We're not doing that very often in the games. Scottsbluff is going to be a challenge, and we'll see where we go there.
All right, well, a tough one here tonight, and Scottsbluff looms on the horizon. Coach, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate the coverage.
All right. Josh Hyatt stops by on the post-game show, and the post-game show catered by Runza continues after this.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com. Last school year, 17 students were honored as the Platte Valley Company's Star Student of the Week. Kids from Scottsbluff, Gering, Bridgeport, Bayard, Mitchell, and Banner County received winning nominations, and with a new school year underway, it's once again time for the public to nominate deserving K-12 students to be the next Star Student of the Week. How do you get your nomination in? Just go to pvbank.com, fill out the nomination form, and watch KNEB.TV News every Friday during the school year to see if your star student was selected.
It's going to come around for you, Coach. Yeah. Yeah, I know. They are.
Back in Gering, 51-7, Hastings over Gering, and Chuck continues with the numbers he has, and we appreciate Coach Josh Hyatt stopping by on the postgame show.
I did not bring you the Gering individuals. Ebers with a couple of those bobbled snaps that cost big yardage, one a 16-yard loss, for example, another a 7, ended with 8 carries, -2, where at halftime he had 26 yards. Garrett W. Kahn, other story, 8 carries, -9 at halftime. He finishes 15 carries, 89 yards, and was on the verge of breaking a couple of those for huge. Shaneman, 1 carry for 2. Williams, 4 for 20. Blue carried twice for 3 yards. De Los Santos, 3 for 14. Rushlow, 1 for no yardage. Ebers, halftime numbers, 3 for 6 for 1 yard. That's where he finished. Walker, 4 for 10. He was 0 for 2 in the second half, 62 yards. So 63 yards passing, 126 rushing, 189 total receiving. Ebers, 1 catch, 5 for the touchdown. Shaneman, 4 catches, 59 yards. The big one, a 46-yarder that set up the touchdown. Radsmiski, 1 for a -3. Ray, 1 for 4 in the ball game. So I can go through the teams in comparison, and then we do have the scores of other games if you'd like to go over that. In the game, because of that 13-play drive in the second half, Gering snapped it more times than Hastings did, 58-49, not including punts. I don't put those down as a play. Rushing, 126 for Gering, 158 for Hastings, 63 passing for Gering, 259 for Hastings. Total yardage, 189 for the Bulldogs, 417 for the Hastings Tigers. First downs, 8. 6 of those came in the second half. 14 for Hastings, 2 came in the second half. Penalties, 5 for 31 on Gering, 3 for 30 on Hastings. Punts, 6, a 37-yard average for Walker of Gering, and 3 for 50. Got easy. His first one was 40, his second one was 50, and his third one, well, actually, there's another punter for 60. So that works out to 3 at an average of 50. Wow. Yeah. No turnovers for Hastings. 2 for Gering, a fumble and an interception. They had a couple other fumbles they did recover. Third down conversions, 1 for 9 for Gering, 5 for 10 for Hastings. Hastings went for it once on 4th down, and they were unsuccessful. Okay, some of the area scores, Panhandle and district foes for some of the teams. Alliance picked up the win over Brush, Colorado, 35-26. Mitchell survived Bridgeport, 30-28 in that one. That turned into quite a ball game. Broken Bow defeated Shadron, 28-8. Minutair over Cody Kilgore, 61-34. I'd say the Indians are for real this year. Creek Valley, 76. Maywood Hayes Center, 38. It was Dundee County Stratton, 66. Kimball, 24. A couple of B scores you'll find interesting, not really in the Panhandle. Scott, 42. York, 37.
Wow.
York now 2-2 on the year. Aurora beat Northwest, 42-27. Kearney Catholic, 43. Ogallala, 20. North Platte St. Pat's beat Gibbon, 17-7. They'll be a C2 district foe. Sandhills Thedford shut out Paxton, 36-0. Cozad, I'd call it an upset over Sydney, 14-7. It was winner South Dakota defeating Valentine, who's had a pretty solid year up to this point, 26-20. And last we heard Scottsbluff finally rolling. It was 42-19 over Sterling, Colorado, down in Colorado tonight. And those are the scores I have. In Torrington, it was 28-0 over Green River last we heard, so they seem to be rolling also. Last week's opponent for Gering.
Here in Gering, 51-7, Hastings over Gering. We'll come back with our Taco John's Player of the Game as a post-game show catered by Runza continues after this.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Gering, as Gering goes to 0-4 on the year as they lose to Hastings 51-7. Hastings goes to 500 on the year as they are now 2-2 and riding a 2-game winning streak. Well, the Player of the Game brought to you by Taco John's of Scottsbluff and Gering. Make Taco John's a game day tradition by unwrapping the original before or after every game, and discussed it, and we're going to give our Taco John's Player of the Game to Anthony Walker. Came in at quarterback in the contest, threw a touchdown pass to Colton Ebers, but even more importantly for Gering, the punt game for Anthony tonight, with the exception of the one that he had blocked. A good job by Anthony Walker tonight on the punt game.
And he gave a different dimension to the offense. I mean, people are going to have to look now, okay, if Ebers is a receiver, he's the quarterback, that changes things up a little bit. So probably a good move by Coach Hyatt and the coaching staff to try something a little different there, and they saw some success. I had a score correction. It was 48-18, Scottsbluff on the final. I had said 19 for Sterling earlier, but it was 48-18. They dominated the second half.
Yeah,
and moved to 4-0, and that's next week's opponent for Gering.
And so it doesn't get any easier for Gering with the Twin City rivalry, or I don't know what term you want to use on that, a rivalry game, and it'll be Josh Hyatt's first experience with that rivalry game with Scottsbluff and Gering. Well, speaking for producer, engineer, and scoreboard operator tonight, TJ Albright, along with the camera operators, Beretta Coates, who doing yeoman's work tonight, was involved in an auto accident earlier this week. But
not her fault.
Not her fault, though. We will make that not her fault, but she is at one of the cameras tonight, and so we appreciate Beretta making that effort tonight. Also along with Jonas Pfeiffer and Joshua Heddleston, I'm Jeff Kelly alongside Chuck Schwartz, thanking you for watching, thanking you for listening, and wishing you a good evening, reminding you of the final score, Hastings 51, Gering 7.